Welcome back. This week we do our best to escape the 40-degree heat and explore Litchfield National Park. First up, we dive into the natural aquarium of Florence Falls. And check out the monster and magnetic termite mounds that are endemic to the top end.
You got the termite mounds here, and they're like razor thin on one side and then super thick the other side.
Go dipping along the rock holes at Buleys.
And still pretty hot. We've got about a 1.5k walk from our campsite to the rock holes, and I think there's a couple of little spots you can drop in along the way and have a dip if you're getting too hot.
Finish it all up with a stunning sunset at Tolmer Falls Lookout.
Tolmer Falls, absolutely breathtaking.
Let's get into the day.
What do you reckon? We're here. I'm thinking go all the way down to the bottom here, closest to Florence Falls.
Yeah, I reckon that's a great shot.
We just filled out one of these, or more precisely, Sophie just filled out one of these. And you write all your information on the front here, and then you open the envelope, and you put your cash in there. Now, there's a crucial, you obviously lick it, stick it all back up. There's a crucial step before you post it through here that you need to do. It's probably one of the more important steps, to be honest. There's a little piece here that you rip off. Now that bit you stick on your caravan so they know you've paid. But old mate Sophie here just posted the whole thing without reading it. So we don't have one to put on the caravan. So I'm hoping that the rangers will come pick that up and just be cool with it. But
I reckon they get it all the time.
Little lesson in reading the instructions. It pretty much says it where? I'm sure it says on here.
Probably in some big bold letters.
Please remember to place the correct fee in the envelope, seal and place in the fee collection box after you complete and detach the permit. So, yeah. We've got a blank one. Maybe just fill this out. Just copy the information.
Yeah? Well, we've paid the money.
That'll work. Right, let's do that. Little lesson for you all. Always read the instructions.
Yeah.
I would have thought that would be you usually reading them and me just trying to bluff my way through it.
I generally skim, you know, okay, yep, it says this, and then you miss the one bit.
Well, you missed the entire last section, so
detach.
I don't know if it's called skimming when you just don't read a whole paragraph.
I know.
Oh well.
Hopefully the rangers are nice.
Oh, I'm sure they won't care. You paid the money, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Righto, let's get down to the campsite. Sweaty. Oh my god.
It's hot.
Can't believe I'm weighing myself down with a towel. As you can probably tell, it is bloody hot in here, so I'm going to make this as short as possible. I am quite literally dripping through my clothes now.
You are.
We're at Florence Falls in Litchfield National Park, NT, which is very exciting because this is one of those places that's meant to be one of the best examples of what, you know, NT and Australia has to offer in national parks. So very, very keen to go and explore this. And we've heard that a lot of locals have said that this national park, Litchfield, is actually better than Kakadu. So, you know, Kakadu gets all the hype and is the most well known, but apparently this one's got a lot of really cool things very close by, whereas Kakadu's like an hour drive to everything. So yeah, got a whole week here to go and explore and see the best of it.
Yeah, and this Florence Falls campground here is 100 meters, 150 meters tops down to the waterfalls. So we can get up every morning and go for a swim and cool off and get rid of all this sweat.
Quite literally 100 meters that way from our camp. And as you can probably tell, being 8 a.m. and this sweaty, we're probably going to go in there every morning and every evening and have a couple of beers in the evening to cool off. So yeah, that's our first stop. And then we're going to go off and hopefully renewed and a little bit cooler, get into seeing the rest of the national park. So we're at Florence Falls and been about an hour. It's going to be super hot, so figured get in, get our morning shower done, and then get into the day. We've woken up at about 6. I was hoping for sunrise, but we've come just as it's gotten bright. Had a little bit of extra sleep because of the heat. I don't think we had the best night's sleep. Plus, we've been sleeping with all the windows open to let as much air in, obviously with the fly screens up, but because of that, you still hear all the mozzies buzzing around trying to get in through the fly screen, which is really trips you out. I think your body wakes up naturally because you expect to get bitten.
Near your ear.
Yeah, you expect to get bitten at any second. Anyway, we've woken up and we've come down to Florence Falls to get this place absolutely on our own and go for a little morning swim to wake up. So yeah, this is Florence Falls.
The falls are home to a surprising number of sooty and spangled grunters. Most of the time they do tend to stay in the deeper, darker sections of the pool depths, unless, however, someone starts to feed them. And I want to stress, this definitely wasn't us, and I don't think you should be feeding these fish. However, the results are still pretty stunning when you happen to be in the water.
that is the perfect way to wake up in the morning. I feel like rather than having a coffee, I should just come down here, jump in off one of those rocks. That definitely wakes you up. And then yeah, into the day. So we sort of left there as it started getting busy again. There's probably about 10-15 more people came down while we were there. So I think if you're gonna go to Florence Falls, get there super early. I've also noticed that if you go super late, so you go at sort of 5-6 o'clock when the sun's still up but going down, all the day tourists have gone and it's just the people staying in the campsite. So you usually get it to yourself for a couple of sundowner beers. Ready?
Yep, got a couple of beers in here, oranges and chicken for some lunch. And we're ready to go. Double esky, keep everything super cold.
It's 10 a.m. and already sweating like nobody's business. So I think we're gonna go and quickly check out the Termite Mounds and then head to either Buleys or Buley Rockholes or another swimming spot waterfall. So we're just cruising along the road on the way to the Termite Mounds, but we've seen, and I know these aren't the magnetic ones, or maybe they are, but we've seen the absolutely monstrous termite mound. So we figured we'd stop and check it out, because it's probably the tallest one I think I've ever seen.
It's actually two. I hadn't seen this one, it's bigger.
Yeah, well, we're just cruising along the road and just looked to our right and we're like, holy crap, that termite mound's absolutely massive.
Show you how big this thing is.
Look at that.
I know, quite tall. Can't fathom how they all work together to create something so large. Blows my mind. And they make it out of sand or dirt, saliva and feces. Like anything they have at their disposal.
Sand, dirt, saliva and feces, eh?
You don't really want to touch it? Oh, sounds really hollow, which makes sense because the termites are inside, but being such a big structure, I was expecting it to sound dense, like real heavy. Oh.
Hello.
Is anybody home?
That's got to be 4 meters high.
Even higher, I reckon, actually, looking at you standing there.
Yeah, it's big. How insane is it that there's like thousands or millions of these throughout the bush, all built by these tiny little insects. Wonder how old this is. That's something to look up. How long it takes for these guys to build some of these 4 or 5 meter high termite mounds. Very cool. I wonder if we'll be more impressed by the magnetic ones now, or if this one's better on the way to the magnetic termite mounds. It'll be hard to beat.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to be pretty impressive to be bigger than this one.
The cathedral termite mounds are one of Kakadu and Litchfield's most incredible and unique sites, and as a general rule, these mounds can live up to about 100 years, as long as the queen remains alive. So there's a good chance some of these really big ones are about that age.
Just spotted another termite mound we wanted to go check out before we leave here. We're just walking through. Super interesting landscape. Kind of like nothing I've really seen before, where it's just grass, like green grass on the ground. Then you've got these fan palms up to about head height and some a little bit higher. And then you've got gum trees above. It's super interesting sort of layered landscape and very dry. But yeah, pretty cool. Very unique. I just can't believe how many fan palms just it seems to be like 3 species of trees. Just dominated everything here. Okay, we've seen 3 or 4 even bigger ones to the right of us, but I think there's a limit to how many termite mounds you can see. This one's pretty cool, very different to the other one. The other one was like straight up and really tall, and this one way chunkier, a bit like Soph and myself, way chunkier and just an absolute monster, but not as tall. Really interesting, all really unique shapes. There's no real uniformity in what they make, so I wonder how and when they decide to go a different shape, go wide, go high. Really cool though. You can see there's been a lot of bushfires through here as well, because all the trees have sort of got like scorch marks on them, and you can imagine that these termite mounds obviously outlast each bushfire that goes through, so pretty well insulated, pretty hardy. Very cool. How are you doing with this heat though?
Oh,
I am.
you can see.
I'm starting to sweat buckets, so I think that's enough of looking at termite mounds. I'm absolutely dripping again. I think we'll go and have a look at the magnetic ones, get back in the aircon of the car, and then go to our swimming hole, because it's getting towards lunchtime, and I think a beer in the sun,
Cool off with some water.
a bit of water, and a bit of a swim. These are pretty cool. You got the termite mounds here, and they're like razor thin on one side, and then super thick the other side. And that's why they're known as magnetic termite mounds, because I think they're all pointing in the same direction, which is actually limiting the amount of sun they get, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but very cool. And these ones are all grey. I don't know if that's just a factor of the fact that they are in this soil, and it's kind of like a muddy, clayey, sort of grey soil, to be fair. It's amazing how many different types of termite mounds there are just in this small location. There just seem to be all the same termites, I assume, but radically different. And this one's like massive again. Look at that, completely shaded by it. I just find things like this in nature so miraculous, so astounding how like the smallest of insects can build these structures that rival what we do as humans with all our technology and brain power.
So I cannot stop it, been down for too long, now I gotta rock it. Had to get it out the mud, you know how it goes. Now we sitting at the top, had to bring the bros. Never thought I'd be the one who would play the role. Now look at where we at, man, who would've known? Temperature rising, I feel the pressure is on me. Luckily, I've been out here building an army. Camouflage on a ride, we run this party. We kick them out the game, cause they wanna come tardy. This is for the ones who've been chasing their goals. If they was sleeping on their kid, now they about to be woke. Lights, camera, action, we ready to roll. Alright, places, everybody, let's put on a good show.
I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind.
So we just went back to camp, had a quick pit stop to get some food, and now we're walking the 1.5 Ks, I believe, from our campsite to Buley's pools. Buley Rockholes, sorry, or Buleys, however you say it. I mispronounce everything on this trip, so deal with it. And yeah, I'm hoping because we've come in the evening or the afternoon, it's going to be a little less busy, but who knows, we'll see when we get there. And still pretty hot. We've got about a 1.5k walk from our campsite to the Rockholes, and I think there's a couple of little spots you can drop in along the way and have a dip if you're getting too hot, so might have to do that, I'm not going to lie.
pontificate on life. We vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches, thinking of what life teaches. So glad and fall from the deep end. Said we vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing.
We just got into the rock hole, first rock hole, and look where he is, already there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just enough water to get cool in. I was thinking about jumping in that one, but I didn't know. It looks more cocky.
Oh yeah, this one looks like a private jacuzzi.
Nice. All I need now is a beer.
Can you catch?
I try.
Hey. So the thing is, rock holes go the whole way along the walk.
All the way up. So we can stop in at this one, then we can go on to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one if you want it.
Oh,
So you just keep cooling off all the way up.
it's amazing. Oh, the snake biting my bum.
What? Sure?
Maybe a little yabby or something?
Maybe.
Or maybe it was just a rock.
I haven't seen any of the fish, all the fish you get in Wongi and Florence Falls that come up and you've got any dead skin on your legs, toes, almost like that fad that went around for ages where they put your feet in this like thing of water
Like
and
a fish pedicure.
the fish pedicure, yeah, almost like that, except they find all your mosquito bites, they find everything that scabs, you know, where your cuticles have like gone up or anything like that,
Yeah.
and they just come in and it's super painful, especially when they get like a bit of skin that's like a fresh cut. So yeah, if you sit around for too long and don't move, prepare to get bitten in any of those places.
When it says to keep swimming, you know, even when the waterfall's big on.
Yeah, true. So what's happening?
There's a little yabby down here, and Duncan thinks I'm making it up, I think, because it's biting my bum and not his bum. So I'm trying to find it, so I can prove to everyone that it's not just me being paranoid with a rock. It's somewhere down here. Oh, here he is. Yeah, that makes my finger.
All I gotta do is jump now. I'm afraid of heights. Does that mean I'm afraid of the top now? Feel vertigo. Gotta make the place I live or trying to go. But I know what it feel like. How I be in this real life. Can't be complacent or complicit. Life's complicated enough. The destination is us. Why don't you go like we're numb? Under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing. Laying on black sand beaches. Thinking of what life teaches.
What are you doing, Soph?
The one downside to the NT, or this tropical area, is mosquitoes. So this is about the 4th time today, I reckon. The mosquitoes love me up here. Well, they love you too.
Yeah, I'll definitely go after you because I am getting really bitten.
All right.
Like kryptonite to these things. No, kryptonite bites them. I'm like crack cocaine. They love it. Can't get enough.
Or hummus for you.
Hummus for me, yeah.
And don't forget the back of your neck.
Yeah.
They seem to love it on me there.
Well, it's getting low. Smells good.
No, we have to start buying a multi-pack.
Yeah. Righto, I should keep them at bay for a little while, but
Yeah, we need to save some for the way home.
There's barely any in that, so we need to ration our swims, otherwise we're gonna get eaten alive.
Yeah.
The only thing I have noticed is the mosquitoes here that bite haven't left quite such big bites or welts as the ones that did in Darwin. So these seem to like bite, sting and be annoying and be itchy for a while, but the ones in Darwin like left, I don't know, some of these big marks we got here that have taken weeks to heal. So
Yeah, that's true.
they're not as bad as the Darwin ones, but still bite all the bloody time. Imagine if there's spots like this and you were in here in 40-degree heat and you couldn't swim. I mean, I know there's places like that in Kakadu and I just don't know if I want to go to them, to be honest. Like we got out of that first swimming hole about 10 minutes ago. I'm already dry, already hot, already ready to get back in the water. So I don't know how you'd do the NT without being close to water. It's just, especially going into wet season, going into summer, it is warm, man. Like you can't stay inside. The caravan's roasting. It's all right when you're driving somewhere because the aircon pumping, but yeah, I don't know. Kakadu after this. Stay tuned to find out if I melt and
If we stay there for one day.
yeah. If I get to a nice swimming hole like that and we can't swim because of Crocs, I think I'll be pretty done with it pretty quickly. But anyway, we're in Litchfield at the moment, so we can swim. If you're coming out here, I think probably the biggest thing is just water. Water. Yeah. We've refilled the bottles 3 or 4 times already today. Just drinking as much as we possibly can because
it's
insane.
It out so fast.
And you can hear that. You just got the cicadas going ham above you as well. So.
Looks like it's got a nice sandy bottom.
Yeah, it's not too deep, but it's got this really nice incline on either side for you to lean back and just rest.
And it's out of the sun.
Perfect.
So what are we up to?
We just arrived at Tolmer Falls, which apparently is the best place to come in here in Litchfield National Park for sunset. So just arrived, it's about 6 p.m, the sun's starting to go down, so we're going to do the lookout walk, easy 800 meters loop track. Halfway there we should be able to see the sunset and the waterfalls.
And hopefully a sunset. Doesn't look like there's going to be one though at the moment. Very cloudy.
So many speak on the bottom and never know the feel, or how it looks at the top, or if it's even real. We ain't selling dreams, but we live in some. No arms license and still we stick to our guns. We here to live for ourselves first.
So we read online, you got to come down to the lowest platform. There's like 3 or 4 viewing platforms, and although the one above here looked perfect to me, they weren't lying, because this one is even better. You almost come down and then you got this little like rocky outcrops on either side and the sun straight through. So, oh yeah, and there's a waterfall behind us. So I'm going to make the most of the light, set up the Sony to get a time lapse of hopefully what will be an epic sunset. All the components are right. Great foreground, great background. You just need the sunset to turn up. And then I might even fly the drone over that waterfall at the same time. So multitasking like a boss. Got a time lapse set up, shooting away here. Don't want to move it too much. Precariously, really relying on the Gorilla Pod here to do its job. Otherwise, the camera's falling a good, well, I don't even know how far, all the way to the bottom where that water is. That's set up shooting. Drone's going up, and then we can relax and enjoy the sunset.
Keep living my life. I can change, I don't know about you.
talk to him.
I'm gonna take my time and find what's right for me.
How's it looking?
Very cool. At the bottom there's this cool cave and all the water's flowing down to, which must be where all the bats go in. And then you can fly up above the waterfall and there's this rocky overhang, or like almost bridge, that you can fly under, which is every person flying a drone's wet dream really. So I'm just going back and forth under it. And cut to me going under it right now.
Ain't trying to be the clouds, always overheads. Sometimes I gotta be the ground to hold you down and stand. For yourself first, then we go get the fam. Build them up, set them up like it's already planned.
Tolmer Falls, absolutely breathtaking. Everywhere we've been swimming in the national park has been down there, all the way down there at the bottom, which is beautiful for swimming, but you don't get to see this perspective of the national park. You don't get to see the view for miles and miles, and you don't get to see this incredible sunset. So if you're nearby in Litchfield National Park, highly recommend coming here. We didn't really know much about it, found it on weekends, had the time to swing by, and so glad that we did. Just look at that view.
Oh, I got neon colors in my room. Don't ever want another, only you in my head, only you in my bed. Light me up, yeah, I think that I'm doomed to things I would do. Light me up, I'm higher than the clouds. Drunk on ice, no, I'm not coming down. Give you everything I got, forever.
This reminds me of the Lion King. What do you reckon?
Yeah, with your big hair.
No!
The lion's mane.
Thinking that there would be where the lion was. This is his kingdom.
Geez, the light just looks insane up here. How's the Sony doing? Capturing that shot, hopefully. You never know what the sunset's going to be like.
No.
And earlier when it was getting cloudy, we just got out of having a little swim in Buley Rockholes. You just didn't know if it was going to be good.
Yeah.
We took the gamble, jumped in the car, came here, and even then it was still looking super cloudy and
Even
bright.
when we arrived, it looked super cloudy.
Yeah, and we set up, fingers crossed it was going to get better and better and better, and true to form, I think this is one of the better, if not best, sunsets we've had since we've been in the NT. Maybe just because we can see it from here rather than where we are, doesn't have this view all the way out to where the sun actually sets, but I love when you just luck out. You set up, you take a gamble, you don't know if it's going to pay off. Everything's ready and rolling, and then when the nature comes to the park, when nature plays ball with you, if you're watching this back and it's a bit meh, then we haven't done it justice, because it's
beautiful,
pretty insane behind me. Look at that red, orange, beautiful NT glow. Well, I'm going to turn this camera off now, because I think I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of it.
Made for me, can't deny it's all riding on your energy. If heaven is a place, then it's in your eyes. Wanna love you till the end.
As always, guys, drop us a line if you enjoyed the video, or if you're planning a trip to this stunning national park. We always love hearing your stories and questions.